turns out. Gentlemen, let's move on to the final lap of today's program. How well can the rule of law prevail in the face of political pressure? This is the question begging for answers regarding the controversy that has engulfed Kano Emirate over reinstatement and deposition of two emirs. But security agencies under the leadership of the Commissioner of Police in Kano State have vowed to obey the court order, which ruled against the reinstatement of Muhammadu Sanusi II as the Emir of Kano. The Commissioner of Police, Muhammadu Usaini, noted that the force only recognizes the deposed Aminu Bayero as the Emir of Kano as backed by the court. He also said that the police will not be compelled to act against the verdict of the court. This is coming after Governor Abba Yusuf ordered the arrest of the deposed Emir after he returned to Kano. Let's share the story by TVC News. Ibrahim is with you.
It's the wee hours of Saturday. Governor Abba Yusuf, his deputy, Aminu Salam, and the Speaker of the Kano State House of Assembly escorted the 16th Emir Muhammadu Sanusi II to the palace. The delegation were ushered into one of the palaces at the Emirate by Emir Sanusi. The Emir, while interacting with journalists, expressed joy for the support and prayers given to him by many that saw his return to the throne.
As you know, I was appointed the 14th Emir of the single Emirate of Kano in June 2014. And now I'm reappointed as the Emir of the single Emirate of Kano.
Emir Sanusi toured the palace with the delegation. Few hours after Emir Sanusi came to the palace, the 15th Emir, Aminu Bayero, touched down at the Aminu Kano International Airport. The 15th Emir moved to the palace at Nasarawa GRA in company of security operatives and a cheering crowd of supporters. Arrival of the 15th Emir prompted the Deputy Governor of Kano, Aminu Salam, in the heat of the confusion to make some allegations.
Nobody is vacating anywhere, and we are being told that they are going to use force to come in and remove the new Emir and brought back the former Emir. That will be resisted vehemently.
Ladies and gentlemen of the press.
But the police, the military, and other security agents, while addressing newsmen at the Kano Command Headquarters, assured that the court order asking the parties to maintain status quo will be obeyed.
The police command is expressly obeying the court order with suit number FHC/KN/CS/182/2024 dated 23rd May 2024, issued by the Federal High Court sitting in Kano alongside all law enforcement agents in the state.
The 15th Emir, while addressing his supporters, called for calm in the state. Ibrahim Isa, TVC News, Kano.
Gentlemen, this is becoming chaotic. I mean, there are so many questions out there. Why are security agencies getting involved? Those asking if the governor has powers or has powers to create emirates, why can't another governor, reinstate an emir?
No, you see, people ask questions, people say things based on the positions that they've taken. But what you cannot deny is the primacy of our courts, primacy of the law. I hear people say, oh, Ganduje was restrained by the court from sacking Muhammadu Sanusi II in 2020, but I disobeyed the order of the court. that does not make what Governor Abba Yusuf has done right. I am an advocate of obedience to the order of the courts. If we don't want anarchy, then politicians must behave responsibly. When there is a court order, you are obligated to obey that court order. It is not in your place to obey the court order that suits you. I mean, that is my quarrel with the governor of Kano State. And if I'm standing before him, I will say it at the risk of being slapped. I will say that you should have obeyed that court order. The fact that a governor before you disobeyed the court order does not make it right.
He
said the judge was in the US.
Oh, he is ignorant of the processes of the courts. The amendment to the rules of our courts permit a judge to use electronic means to transmit his order. That's the problem why people who are not lawyers, everybody has an opinion on issues that they know next to nothing about. There is nothing in the law that forbids a judge to be physically present in Kano before he can give an order. And I know that knowledgeable lawyers are watching me. I'm not saying rubbish. I'm saying the truth. Even during COVID, judgments were given virtually. You can check, you can use Google to find out these things. No law says a judge must be physically present in Kano to give an order. It should produce that portion of the law that says a judge must be physically present in Kano to give an order. He can give an order through electronic means. If the motion of notice is brought before him, he can give an order through electronic means. So coming out to say, and it is not even in the place of an executive, a governor, it is not in his mouth to say, oh, this judge is not in Nigeria, oh, this judge gave this judgment, I'm going to report him. Report him to who? You want to report him to Governor's Forum? Oh my God. It is the NJC that you can report to. The Governor's Forum cannot sit in judgment against a judicial officer. You can see why governors make mistakes. A lot of them do not even understand what the law says. That's why a governor can think that he can sack a judge. You cannot sack a judge. You can't sack a judge. If you sack a judge, you've wasted your time. You merely set back everybody. Amechi tried it in Rivers State. He failed. At the end of the day, the wish of the NJC prevailed. He locked the courts, but what did he achieve? He disobeyed the same judges that made him. Without the Supreme Court, Amechi would not have been governor. And then he disobeyed the NJC. He wanted a particular person as chief judge. And they said, no. It's an independent arm of government. And you must obey even the assembly can make laws. But the House of Assembly, the court can say, no, this law is wrong. Has it not happened in Rivers State, where a court said that the decision of the assembly to extend the tenure of local government chairman was wrong? So it doesn't mean because you are assembly, then whatever you do, no entity can question it. Of course, the court can question your decisions within the ambit of the law. So, nothing says a judge cannot transmit order electronically. Nothing says that. The governor of Kano State should produce where the law says he cannot do that. So he was wrong. The claim that he made that, oh, he was not in Nigeria. He does not know the processes. He needs to. You see, when you want to take a decision in a hurry, then you make mistakes. Look at what we found now. That judgment, the reason, that order mandated the IG to implement his order. The court mandated the IG to implement his order. So if the IG didn't implement the judge's order, he could commit the IG to prison. And that's why you can see that the police commissioner in Kano State, realizing that his boss was given the mandate to ensure the implementation of that order, decided to say, okay, for now, Sanusi is not Emir. Because there's a court that restrained the state from going ahead. I would have expected that the governor of Kano State will wait. It's June 3rd that they will be in court on the matter. I would have expected him to wait. Whatever you want to do, you can still do, but respect the court. Obey the court. Look at what the judge said in the case of Yabelo. He said, even if my judgment or my order is illegal, you must first obey it. That is the way to avoid anarchy. Yabelo may feel bad that this judgment is not right. This judge didn't bear in mind the fact that I had a restraining order. But he said, even if my order is illegal, you are obligated to first obey it. That's the way that it should be. Set aside, put in place machinery to have that order vacated. But for politicians, for governors to think that, okay, I will obey only the order of the court that favors me, is irresponsibility.
Thank you.
We are playing with fire.
There are some who have also said a federal high court has no jurisdiction in chieftaincy.
It doesn't mean, you see, this is my problem with people. The people saying that are they judges? Let a court pronounce that. You get my point? There are people who said, the Supreme Court has no locus in determining that it was wrong of the CBN to give the time frame that it gave Nigerians.
Yes, that time.
Of course, that time frame was irresponsible. There's no way people can finish submitting all of their money at that time. And if the court assumed jurisdiction, yes, the CBN has autonomy and all that. But the Supreme Court assumed jurisdiction to hear the matter that those governors brought before it. And the Supreme Court said, no, we are extending the validity of our currency. It is also time. The currencies can run concurrently, the old and the new. President Tinubu inherited that directive. They went back to the court to have it extended. They extended it again. So you may have what's it called? You may have the latitude, you may have autonomy. But the highest court in the land has the power to interpret the way you use the autonomy given to you. If you use it arbitrarily, if you use it animalistically, they can come and say, no.
No, that is not the interpretation.
They can say, no, this is wrong. How did anyone expect that within so short a time, all of us will have finished submitting our money in banks? You look at the way people suffer. You know? So this is the thing. If you say the Federal High Court has no power, let a court pronounce that. It's not in your mouth. It's not in your place to say that. That's why we have the courts. A court can come and say, no, you have no power to do what you have done. That settles it. Why are we reluctant to go before the courts? Why are we always happy to implement only orders that favor us? We are not going to slip into the Obesian state of nature. No, we are human beings. Human beings governed by laws. We can't have a situation where, look, Obasanjo seized the money of Lagos. Supreme Court said, release the money. He said he refused. When he left office, the Yaradua so power is transient. You will give up that power one day. Let people respect our courts. Are they not, now that he has given an order, say be order that they should arrest the post, have they arrested him? The governor had to now go into the palace and sit there as a way of ensuring that nobody comes to arrest his own choice of emir. So if you have sorted everything out, it will not have reached that point that you as an individual will now be going after the emir. follow the law. Follow the law. Obey the order of the court, and then get the court to set it aside. Why are you in a hurry? There's one video that will say, why are you running? Why are you running? Why are you in a hurry? Why are you in a hurry?
Also, let me come to you.
No, I think I don't. The VK is now talking about the law, which I think we just have to respect, you know, because if we don't respect our court, then Thomas Hobbes, what he said, you know,
State of nature.
You know, will just be in a serious anarchy. So for me, I think we just have to find a way to, you know, to make sure that there's peace in Kano. Because this afternoon, I heard there was protests in those Emir councils that were dissolved, you know, which is Rano, Garaye, and Gaya and Karaye, you know. So
Karaye.
Yeah, so we need to find how there will be peace in Kano. And thankfully, yesterday when the Commissioner of Police was, you know, having that briefing, the army was also involved, the DSS was also involved. So they are out to see how they can maintain peace. Kano is a very, very fragile. Well, once it comes to things, very, very volatile. And it shouldn't be, when it comes to politics, Kano will always, you know, have this issue about crisis. Now, it's this thing called chieftaincy. You know, Emir, anything Emir, chieftaincy in Kano is always very, you see people very, very emotional about it, you know. So if the police have said that, okay, we are going to say how the court's laws, the orders of the court should be obeyed, I think it's incumbent on the governor to see that his own Emir, you know, steps aside. And so when the time...
How easy will that be?
Well, he has to... He started it.
You know what? When they had that, the new Emir was coming. Because he came to see Awujale
first.
Then
he went back.
Lagos, Lagos, and then to
Kano.
Abuja.
Okay, I'll go, yeah.
When they heard that he was coming, they quickly moved Sanusi into the palace. They got information and quickly moved Sanusi into the palace. If he had entered the palace, that main palace, this is not what we will be saying. You know, now you give an order that you cannot enforce.
Exactly.
Go and arrest.
You know, he said they should arrest. Now they've not arrested. So I feel the governor...
How did they arrest when the court told the IG that you must implement my order?
I don't want a situation whereby the governor will have egg on his face, you know. So he should just do the honorable thing, see how this can... Because if there is a serious crisis in Kano, he will not be able to handle it.
Of course.
You know. So, and now that the police have said, please, this is the court, we are trying to respect the court order, let him just respect it. They'll still go back to court. So perhaps when he gets to court, the judge will say, okay, fine.
Yes, he has the power. You know?
Yeah, he has the power to bring another emir. You know, so let him not preempt what the judge will say. Do the right thing first, and then when you go to court, put your position down, and then from there, because we need Kano to be at peace.
You will win. Did they not win in Supreme
Yes,
Court?
of course.
He won. He lost the lower tribunal, lost appeal court.
Then he went to Supreme Court. He won. That is Sanusi.
So you know, I'm not talking about the governor.
The governor, yeah.
So you know, such a person should respect the courts.
You know,
because you are governor today because the court put you
exactly
lost in 2 places.
Exactly.
Out of 3. The superior court, the final court in the land, gave you victory. You are now saying you will report a judge. You will to a governor's forum, not to NJC.
NJC.
Is it the governor's forum that oversights
the judge?
What's going on?
All right, gentlemen. Ultimately, we pray and hope for peace in Kano State.
It's very, very important. That's very important.
Sukwa James, Babajide Kolade, thank you so much, gentlemen.
Thanks for having me.
And thank you very much for watching. That's all on Journalist Hangouts on Sunday. Join us tomorrow for the regular episode of the program at 5 p.m. You can watch the repeat broadcast of this episode tonight at 11:30. We are on YouTube at youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. I am Olanjumoke Olatuji. Bye for now, and God bless Nigeria.